I was doing a hitting lesson the other day and someone walked in halfway through. I just assumed it was a parent. But then I noticed that they had a Lawrence University cap on, so I was like, well, they probably know my dad. He's the head coach over for softball over there. I also noticed they were taking notes and they were really intently watching my lesson and just kind of almost like they were trying to learn from what I was saying, which I thought was really interesting. So I got done for the day and I went and shook his hand and I met him. His name is Scott Reppert. Come to find out, this dude is a Hall of Famer, pro football player, played for the Chicago Bears. He also played overseas, which is really cool too, because then we kind of connected on, we both had been to Rotterdam, because I played in Rotterdam in the Hoofdklasse, which is basically like the Netherlands league for baseball, which is really interesting. So super successful businessman, multiple companies, tons of success. And I thought it was so interesting that, he was listening to my lessons. He told me he really liked how I focused on the mental side of baseball. He really liked my coaching style. I realized though, this is a guy who's in the College Football Hall of Fame. He led college football in rush yards for multiple years. He's All-American, one of the greatest college rushers of all time. He's a running back. He lifted all kinds of weight. He was talking to me about how his bench press was around 500 pounds. To me, that's insane. It's obviously elite for a running back. And he had a ton of business success. And just overall, you meet him, the guy is just really cool to talk to. So I was extremely humbled to learn that he was learning from me. But then it also made me realize, too, something about all the greatest athletes I've ever talked to. They all learn from everyone. And I understood that too, because I learn things from my lessons all the time. One of my lessons the other day, she's a softball player, she said, if it doesn't feel weird, you're not doing it right. And I thought that was the smartest thing, maybe one of the smartest things any of my lessons have ever said. And if you're watching this, CJ, I hope you're watching this, that was a really good quote. I realized that I learn things from my lessons all the time, from people who are less experienced than me. In the same way that Scott was learning from someone less experienced than him. I think part of that though too is people who are successful like that, they're willing to learn things always. I mean, we're talking about a guy who has so much more experience than me. I think he's probably around 40 years older than me. I'm not exactly sure. So Scott, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to date you there. But to be fair, I'm saying a lot of good things about you, but way more experience than me, way more knowledge than me. And he's trying to learn still. And I just found that so humbling. And I want to be like that I can learn from even the most unsuspecting sources. And I think we can apply that too. I find a lot of my athletes, sometimes they discredit certain things that other people say that might help them. Sometimes they discredit their parents or their siblings who are just trying to help them, but they just don't think that their parents know anything about baseball or that their friends know anything. But a lot of times there's a lot of wisdom that we can gain. I think most criticism too, there's always a little bit of truth to it. You guys sometimes comment on my videos. It's actually really helpful. Even if it is a little bit standoffish or whatever, it actually does help me a ton because there's always something that I can learn in every comment that you guys leave. If it's on the shorts or on my long form stuff, I always learn things that I can improve with my editing or just the style of the video or just the content or how I present certain ideas. And be humble enough to be able to extract helpful information from the most unsuspecting, unlikely sources. You don't have to learn things from the best all the time. You can learn things about movements, about life, about mindset, athletics, anything from a kid. So sometimes if you just watch a kid play catch, you'll learn things. Or one of my players, he's like 7 years old. He dove for a ball and he rolled a certain way and then got up really quickly. And I was like, oh, that's a really interesting way to get up from a dive, like when you dive for a ball in the outfield. I learned things from 7-year-olds. So I think that's what I want you guys to take home from this video. It's a really cool story. Learn from everyone. Hope that helps, guys, and have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna sip this coffee and then I got lessons for the rest of the day. So peace out.